morning, YouTube, from sunny Central Point, Oregon. Today I'm going to be giving you an update on the Velanian Crisis project. We're going to get some quick playthrough, and we are going to have a little bit of fun today. I'm going to be going with one of the most OP characters right off the bat. I'm going to be going with the veteran, and we are going to be playing through Inferno for a bit because it's got some of the better music in the game. Let's go to Ultraviolence, and we're not going to pull any strings on this. We are going to just give us everything. Okay, so here we go. For some reason, somehow, we ended up in the second campaign instead of the third. So yeah, you guys haven't heard much from me lately. The last update to the actual mod itself was all the way back in March. Almost a 7-month absence with just zero updates on the mod. You know, nothing newsworthy. And a lot of that had to do with just like the craziness due to like coronavirus, the fact that I was a full-time student in spring term or winter term. That didn't go all that great, and really I got into some pretty deep depressions for a while, and I really needed to take a break from a lot of my obligations to be there for my family. With that said, though, recently I've been kind of getting on the up and up. I took a break from this term. We ended up well, we sadly lost our old apartment to a fire, and so that was just chaos. So for like a month, it's just been utter chaos. So, you know, even after I got my brand new gaming computer that I ended up building, I really didn't get to use it a whole lot because we had this whole evacuation here in over in Talent, and we were like one of the 3 buildings still standing after the fire, but the people that own the building said we can't move back in. Thankfully, we got a new place, and that all worked out wonderfully. So I'm back. So the Velanian Crisis has kind of been in, I guess you could say it's kind of been in purgatory for a while. And, you know, there's a part of me at one point that really wasn't sure I wanted to continue working on the project, even though I'd put, you know, the greater part of a year, for better or for worse, towards, like, getting the project started and then like getting off the ground. And part of that was because like my aspirations changed a bit, and they've been flip-flopping back and forth because honestly, like, you know, growing up on the spectrum, my big like life dream is to help other people on the autism spectrum thrive, and to get to the point, you know, where they can, you know, go and be in the workplace and the employers are informed enough and they have enough support, you know, to actually make it and really thrive in the workplace. And, you know, that's something that, you know, was very difficult for me at first as you know, as a young adult. Lost numerous jobs and, you know, finally got to a point where, you know, I could hold a steady job. And a lot of that came down to, you know, if I would have known some of the things I know now, had been wiser to some of the social taboos and things that you say and you don't say, it would have made a world of difference in how employable I was. And I think that, you know, that's one of my passions for people with autism, is that they're no longer looked at as, you know, the stigmatized group, but instead are, you know, just as valuable as, you know, the next guy down the street who applies for the job. And part of that's working through, you know, like advocation and all that stuff. And so, you know, like, I went into applied psych, and so I got out of the engineering field, and I'm sitting here like, well, you know, this isn't really relevant to my life anymore. But I was cheating myself out of that, you know, and, you know, spending a year on this mod and all the stuff I'd done with collaboration, all that other stuff that I'd done to make this happen, it would have gone to waste if I would have just let it on the mantle. And so now I'm back and decided to actually make a video. This is very much a weapon that is this in a different skin. So the main thing is I'm looking at making energy weapon equivalents to the guns in the mod. The problem with that is, though, is that by doing that and saying that I'm making energy weapon equivalents, I'm cheating myself out of the range of weapons that I can incorporate in the mod. Because an equivalent is nothing more than a clone weapon, in which literally this was the granddaddy original weapon that fired like this. Now, you go over to this plasma rifle that I just spent time on over the last few months, and it's literally the same thing. It just overheats instead of reloads. And the burst fire is the same. The one thing it has going for it is that it's got smaller versions of those plasma implosion grenades as a, third tertiary fire. But let's be real with it. It's just the assault rifle reskin. So, at one point, I got to this point where I've got so many different weapons I've already incorporated into the mod that I was starting to run low on ideas. Well, why didn't I just go work on monsters or start working on the maps that I'm looking at replacing every episode of Doom with, an individualized portion of this story? The lore on this thing's extensive. And part of that's because, I just really didn't have the motivation. I didn't have, the time or the energy, going through the depression I went through to actually, be able to pull myself together and focus on it. And, especially after the fire, it was 4 weeks ago we were homeless. And, all of that stuff, when you look at it, life happens and it gets crazy. And certain priorities that you once thought were important kind of get shifted aside and whatnot. And so, now that things have finally settled down, I'm back. And so now, where are we going from this point forward? You're talking about the fact that, you're looking at making energy weapon equivalents. You're talking about map packs. What are you working on next? And at this point, I gotta say, I really don't know. I have zero Doom mapping experience. I've fiddled around with stuff like, there's this one, deep sea map editor that I messed with way back in, the early 2000s. But, frankly, maps were never my forte. Weapon mods and, some basic scripting until I started doing this were, all I could do. So now I'm, proficient at Z-Script and ACS and whatnot, but I still don't have a lick of mapping. And so I guess to answer that question, I'm going to be dropping a couple new weapons probably here in a while. I'm also definitely looking at expanding the beastry of this particular mod. Because let's be real, some of the in-game weapons, so that 20mm cannon you saw has a 50% chance of replacing a BFG. Let's be real, even some of the entry-level weapons that you find off the bodies of enemies, they blaze right through other enemies. Let's be real about that. And, so I'm looking at, doing some dynamic changes in the game, trying to see what we can do to add more monsters. Trying to see what I can do to get some tougher baddies up in the field, especially in the later campaigns, so that you can potentially run into quite a bit nastier enemies later in the game. But yeah, that is one of the projects I've been working on pretty frequently throughout the last year and a half. But on the other token, I've been sitting here talking on my other main YouTube channel. So this is the gaming, offshoot of my main channel. I've been talking about how I'm looking at doing more Let's Plays and whatnot. And that's actually definitely coming down the pike. I ended up getting a $100 microphone. This one's on my Razer Kraken headset because the $100 microphone, it's going to see a lot more use when I can actually get a room with some actual noise isolation because unfortunately, that microphone picks up every single thing around it. It's awesome quality-wise, but it just picks up way too much ambient noise. And so I probably won't be recording with that microphone unless we actually get a time when Daniel's asleep, wife's not watching TV, that kind of stuff. So that's the downside about that. But I got myself, I bought a new gaming computer recently, built it out, spec'd it up, and, put it together. And so I've got all the hardware I need to actually start streaming and, making videos again. So yeah, what's coming around the pike is you're definitely going to see some more innovations to the mod itself. You're going to be seeing more videos from me, especially on the Let's Play side of things. And, you're going to be seeing a lot more of that kind of stuff coming your way. One of the things I do ask is that currently this mod is, it's what it is. It's a whole bunch of weapons and, a couple suit modules, like I just picked up the bubble shield. It's installing. And whatnot. And really, what would really catapult this mod, to the next level is having a dev team. I started a Discord for this. I will shoot a link down in the bottom of the video. I ended up making, connections with some of the people I'd worked on Project Brutality with. A lot of them are on other projects right now, so they're often pretty busy. But yeah, I would love to get this into a much higher level of collaboration. You know, with dedicated people working on graphics, me and a few others working on code, get a couple mappers, whatnot, because I honestly have some pretty grand visions for what this mod could become. So yeah, I mean, if you know anybody in the Doom community that's into modding, whatnot, let them know I'm looking for help. It is purely voluntary, so there will be, you know, nothing paid or anything like that, but, you know, I want to get this out there and see what we can do with it. If we can make a successful YouTube channel out of it as a group, then yeah, you know, stuff like revenue and all that stuff will come into the picture. But like, honestly, I just want to see, you know, what this could become, given that it has an actual dev team on it. You know, and so that's what I want to take it. You know, it is a project of passion, and so, you know, get some other passionate individuals that like mod and Doom. That would be awesome. Also, if you like these videos, be sure to like and subscribe for more, because I will be definitely, you know, posting a lot more updates with my voice in it now that I actually have a reasonable microphone. But yeah, check it out, and I'll leave a link to the GitHub in the description. It has some really rudimentary instructions about how to get this up and running. As long as you got a copy of Doom, whether that be through Steam or whatever, you'll be able to actually get ZDL and ZDoom, grab the mod, and put the PK7 in the same directory as the game. Load that as a side-loaded mod, and it will boot right up. But yeah, so that's what's going on with the mod. You know, I'm really trying to start pushing forward again, making some trails again, because, you know, after being absent for so long, I just feel like, you know, I need to be back out there. I need to let people know that this is a thing. Hey, that was one of the pinata cacos. Those are not common. So I incorporated that little guy as a Easter egg that very rarely you will come upon a cacodemon that will explode into a buttload of candy, and he will actually allow your health to go up to 300. That's funny. I didn't actually expect to run into those just in a natural playthrough. I usually spawn them in for the video's sake. But yeah, so that's the mod. The YouTube channel, I'm really looking at expanding now. I have a ton of games in my game library, and I have a ton of space to store those games. And so I'm looking at really broadening my horizons when it comes to content. Gonna start out with kind of the traditional Let's Plays and whatnot, and over time, you know, if the channel grows, whatnot, maybe starting doing some actual live stuff, where I'm on camera, that kind of stuff. We're talking through things. We get Q&As going, stuff like that. I am looking at doing streams for non-update stuff. So if it's going to be an update on the mod or something, I'm going to make a formal video on it like I am right now. But if it's just a, hey, let's play this for, you know, 30 minutes or an hour, I'll just straight up stream it on YouTube. So keep an eye out on that, especially if you're subscribed, because I'll be alive here and there on YouTube, trying to get things, you know, up front and, hey, this is what's going on kind of thing. But yeah. Get out of here, Cacodemon. On another note, me and my buddy are actually working on building a Minecraft server that eventually we may actually put on live and get some actual server space to slap it onto. It started out as a little Hamachi server that we've been working on off of my system, and we just kind of built on it. We just kind of, you know, slowly but surely used World Edit to add features and whatnot, and it's really grown into quite the impressive little project. Yeah, I could have done better on that level, but whatever. I think we'll get through... Yeah, I think we'll get through this one and then we'll call it a day. This gun is... It's funny because the last recording attempt I did, I was able to get it. The problem is that my recording setup wasn't quite set up properly, and I ended up only recording the voice portion of the video, and so it kind of just left me bummed out, and it was kind of a halfway done video, so I scrapped that and then came back to redo it on this. Let's blow these guys up really quick. There we go. That takes care of everybody. Okay, let's see here. This level's really nasty if you're not cheating like I am right now. Main reason I do this, I wanted to showcase like all the weapons, and so I just kind of like turned on God mode, and we're just going to town on a whole bunch of enemies. Let me see if I can get those homing rockets going. There we go. And then we've got the Ripper rockets, which are much faster and just go through enemies and hit whatever's behind them. Wait, what? I know there's a way to get to that secret, and I don't remember how it is exactly. I think you have to like run that way and then run back and then run this way. No. Interesting. Okay. Find out if we can figure out how to get to this thing. That would be really cool. Well, I angered the Horde, that's for sure. But still unsure exactly how to get that reopened. You'd think after I played through these levels so many times I'd just know that stuff, but hey, there we go. Now it's open. I'll take the bubble shield. Somebody just threw a fireball at me. I heard it. Where'd he go? Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Apparently not that way. Oh boy. Come on, goat boy. You can do better than that. There we go. Now you're dead. Try again next time, sucker. Here we go. Time to blow some imps up. Or a Caco Demon up. That'll work. Shotgun shells. Yeah. Hey, I could use that. At least now we're not totally out of chain gun ammo again. Yeah, we're doing pretty good on the stock there. Now if I can remember where that blue key is on this level. Hey, there it is. Yeah, you want to be careful through this part because there are crushers. Get out of here. Tomato head. Whee! Yes, the veteran does actually have extended jump height, so he can jump higher than standard Doom Marine. Each character in the mod actually does have different traits that are like benefits and detriments. The veteran's kind of the middle range of every single character that I have available. He takes damage out well. He's got slight explosive resistance, I believe, and the jump and run speeds are increased for him. The acrobat class is the glass cannon of the bunch, so she will die really quick, but she can move very, very quickly, and she starts out with the bubble shield, which, for those of you who are new to the channel, the bubble shield actually allows for 30 seconds of invulnerability and a minute long charge time between uses. So once you find it, it's a really helpful little tool. Boop, and it looks like that. I don't have night vision right now. It's like, oh, another one. That's another thing you gotta be careful about with the Pinata Caco Demons. They will actually blow you up if you're not careful. So yeah, if you're not careful with it, you'll blow up yourself because they actually do, I want to say they do like 3 rockets worth of damage. It's ridiculous. With a heavier character like the veteran or the heavy, you might be able to survive it, but either way, it's still not actually the favorable thing to do, especially if you don't want to die blowing up next to him. And we're gonna just shoot this pinky with a gun way bigger than it needs to be. And the nice, easy part about this is that literally I could have jumped that, but I decided to go through the teleporter. Let's go in here. Get out of here. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully this one, I don't remember if this one's open or not. It's got a lot of enemies though. Okay. Let's give ourselves some ammo to demonstrate something. So this is a charging thing, and it takes forever to charge. But once you end up in that phase, they start running from you. I used enemy fear. Also, the bubble shield will end up killing enemies nearby. But yeah, you get that large charge up with, I think it's like 13 seconds of continuous fire. Just beware on your ammo reserves though, because it does take, I want to say it takes 120 ammo to shoot that fire mode. That's like, that's the overkill mode for that thing. Let's just put it that way. It is more than ludicrous, and it is way over the top for anything you're gonna fight in this particular, like, in Doom's continuum at least. I am looking at adding a lot worse bad guys that require that level of, well, that level of destructive power, but, oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, demonstrate the Hornet's Nest. The Hornet's Nest will blow up, if I can do it. Come on, you. And if done correctly, it'll shoot rockets towards enemies. Yeah, right there. It's also a very easy one to kill yourself with. That fire mode will kill you if you end up shooting enemies like the way I did. If they are behind the area of explosion of the rocket, you're gonna have a bad time, because rockets will usually come flying your way, and I've died more than a good handful of times trying to use that and then not taking into account that the enemy was actually behind the explosion radius and it shot a rocket my direction. So be careful with the Hornet's Nest, because it will kill you. The plasma rifle in this is just, you know, a simple rework of the original. I actually found a version of Doom Eternal's sprite, or model, for the plasma rifle. I'm actually looking at making some replacement sprites so it looks a little bit better and more modern. How much does that do to him? Okay. The charge fire that you saw right there will actually act just like the original BFG. Get over here. Yeah, that made some pretty quick work. The chainsaw and the punch, they're pretty much literally just sped up versions of the originals. Take a chainsaw to the face. There we go. Perfect time to demonstrate this. Destructive power. There we go. They're dead. And that's that. That's how the cookie crumbles. Anyway, folks. Oh gosh, that final score. I was trying to get through this level anyway. I've gotten through 5 levels so far. I think it's time to take a break. But yeah, if you like this video, if you want to follow the mod, whatnot, be sure to like and subscribe. I know that I'm going to be looking at trying to push more updates here in time. But yeah, if you know anybody that's like been in the Doom community modding and whatnot, and that has extra time to actually help out on a project like this, the more hands I can get doing this, the better I can make it happen. The faster we can push out updates, the more content we can add to it. So yeah, if you know anybody that's interested in helping out on a Doom mod purely on a voluntary basis, that just wants to do it as, you know, a project to eat up some time, let me know. And you can do that by joining the Discord in the link below. I will have that up when I put this video up. Also, if you know anybody that needs help or whatnot installing the mod, shoot them over to the Discord, because I can give them full instructions on how to get this thing running. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, that is the Velanian Crisis, the status of where it stands so far. Like I said, not many updates lately, but there will be more to come, and there will certainly be more videos to come in due time as well. Have a great day. This is a Doom Space Marine out.